Good afternoon, folks. Jordan here with the Nutty Gnome Homestead. First and foremost, I want to say thank you and welcome to all of our new subscribers. If you guys haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for us. It really does help us out and make sure that we can keep making these videos. Today, we're out here in front of our flower garden getting ready to start working on a new part of our drip irrigation system. Normally, we have these already set up, but with the way the weather's been, we really haven't had time to get them put out. We're going to go through this piece by piece and explain exactly what every part does and how to run it and exactly how easy it is to put this out. Drip irrigation saves so much time as well as water, which everybody should be concerned with nowadays. So we're going to turn you guys around here. I'm going to show you some of the pieces that we're going to use today on this flower bed. Today we're actually going to be using 1/2-inch supply line. This is black supply line. There's no holes in this. You cut it to size. You put a hose end on it. It connects right to your outside faucet. From there, we're going to insert this 1/4-inch supply line. This does not have any holes in it, so we can make it whatever length or configuration that we need. I like using this in our flower beds because sometimes our flowers change locations with the seasons. We do try to rotate our flowers the same as we rotate our vegetables. So we can always just unplug these and plug them in somewhere else when we need them. You're also going to need some 1/4-inch connectors. These are just bit 1/4-inch. You cut your drip irrigation to whatever size you need it. You plug these into it and it makes it a whole lot easier to get water where you need to go. I highly recommend you have a water regulator, pressure regulator that has a filter and a backflow preventer in it. Guys, this makes sure you don't damage the system in your house or in your faucets. If you have too high water pressure, you could actually blow out the ends of your irrigation system as well. And today we're going to be using these emitters. These put off a spray anywhere from 6 to 12 inches in diameter. You guys can see there's a bunch of little holes around the top. And we can get a pretty good spread on this, so we can get quite a few flowers watered at once. It has this little nipple on the side here. It just plugs right into our blank 1/4-inch hose, which is plugged in with these connectors into our main supply line. Guys, it really is this simple. Okay, so we're at the back of one of our flower beds, and as you see, we've got our outside faucet here, and we've got a 4-way manifold on it. We're going to go ahead and put our backwash regulator, pressure regulator, and hose attachment on here. This is the end the hose is going to attach to. I like to get these put on these manifolds first before I attach the hose. As you guys can see, we put on a little bit of thread tape just to help make sure everything stays watertight and we don't have any issues here. We got our water pressure regulator attached. We put on some thread tape to where we make sure we don't have any leaks, or the leaks are very minimal. We are going to eventually put a water timer on here so we can go ahead and control this with our phones. Here is our 1/2-inch supply line. We want to go ahead and attach this to this contraption that way so we can run it out where we need to and start running our 1/4-inch drip from there. How this hose goes on is very simple. I've got another one of these here to show you guys, make this a little easier. You don't take this end off. What you're going to do is you're going to push this into this pipe, and if it's a little snug, I got a trick for that. We're going to take a lighter and we're going to soften up this plastic. Now guys, we're not melting it, we're just warming it up just a little bit to where it makes sliding into this a little easier. See how that went in there? Just like that. And then we're going to tighten this down, and that's ready to go. Now that we have this attached, it is time to run this 1/2-inch supply line to where we want it to go. What we have found out is we can run about 3 emitters off of each one of our 1/4 inch supply lines without a considerable drop in pressure. Right now we are going to be running about 20 feet total of 1/4 inch drip. So we want to make sure that everything is evenly spaced to get the even amount of pressure. Okay, so we've pulled our 1/2 inch supply as far as we're going to go. Now it's time for us to go ahead and tie this off. We cut it off with a razor blade, make a nice clean cut, and then we fold over about 2 inches. Press it down, take your zip tie right through the end, and we're going to cinch that down tight. Now I'm going to actually crush this between my fingers. We're going to push it down tight, and I'm going to put a second zip tie on here just to make sure this doesn't come undone and pop off. Now guys, these systems are reusable. Every part of this you can take off and scrounge for another part if you need to, or another system if you need to. We do roll these up at the end of the year, that way so they're not sitting out in the weather, and that'll keep the water from coming out the end, just like that. We're going to run this right along the back here, and we're going to stake this down with some 12.5 gauge wire. Okay guys, so far we've got it attached to our outside faucet there. When you go around a corner, you want to make sure you have a pretty good radius going around there so you don't get a kink. And we run it right along the wall at the back side of the flowers. And I had a little extra left over, so I just curled it around there. It is staked down the entire way to where it doesn't come up or move. Now this is the fun part. They make this tool that's the right diameter to go ahead and punch a hole into each one of these pieces of tubing that are just big enough for these 1/4 inch adapters. What we're going to do is we're going to punch a hole in that tubing, insert that adapter so we can put our 1/4 inch drip irrigation tubing on them. Pretty flowers. Okay guys, this part is fairly simple. All we're going to do is we're going to punch a hole anywhere in this tubing right here. We're going to insert one of these straight 1/4 inch nipples into this pipe. Then we'll insert a piece of our 1/4 inch drip irrigation tubing, and then we'll attach one of our emitters. So this first one, we'll go ahead and pull it up. If you guys can see this, when I close it, there's this tiny little plunger that comes out and pokes a hole. I'll come back about 6 inches from the end, poke a hole. It's easier to insert it into this first. There we have it. Now this 1/4 inch supply, we're going to run to the end, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it then. Okay, so we ran the 1/4 inch drip all the way to the end of our flower bed here, and I've got the end of it sticking up. We always pull off a little bit more than what we actually need, just to make sure that there's a little bit of slack. What we're going to do is, I know I can get about 6 to 12 inches off these adjustable emitters. I want this one to be right in the middle of this clump of flowers right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this 1/4 inch drip where I need it. And as you can see, it's 1/4 inch. We got the 1/4 inch nipple here. We're going to, if I can keep it out of the wind. And as you guys can see, that plastic pushes up over top of that nipple there. And now this emitter is ready to place where we want it. They got this nice little spike, lets you place it right where you need it. Now, we cut this piece off, let's not throw that away. Now, as I said before, I can run 3 of these emitters off of each one of these runs of 1/4 inch drip. So we got our first one here about 4 feet away. We're going to come back about 2.5 feet, and I'm going to cut again. But we're going to place our second emitter. If you buy the variety pack of these 1/4 inch adapters, you'll get some of these T's, you'll get some 4-ways, and you'll also get some plugs in case you make an accident and cut the wrong spot. We're going to use these T's to connect the 2 pieces of 1/4 inch back together, as well as give us an outlet that we can run to another emitter. It doesn't take long to soften up this plastic. And there we have our second emitter attached to this 1/4 inch supply line. Now we're going to keep working our way back from the end until we get this entire line covered. Okay, so we're going to turn it on and we're going to check this thing out. We got it turned on. No leaks here at the manifold, so that's good. Look at that. Let me step out here so we can see the whole thing. Nice even coverage. Echinacea's getting good. Mums, zinnias. Guys, there's the emitter down there, see it? Now guys, I can let this run for 10-15 minutes, set it with a timer, and not have to worry about it, make sure everything gets a good watering. As I said earlier guys, these emitters are adjustable. As you can see, this one here is just on a small drip. If we turn it, we can turn it off. Turn it the other way, it goes out. Or we can get it almost, well that's probably 14 inches. Turn it in, get it to about 8 inches. Or just a small trickle. That's why I like these guys. We can adjust each one of these emitters to make sure we get an even flow and even coverage of water for all of our plants. Guys, these drip irrigation systems are not very complicated. Anybody can put these things together. They save a lot of time and they really do cut down on the amount of wasted water whenever you're out watering. With these, we get even pressure, even water flow all the way through. So, if you guys have any questions or comments about building your own drip irrigation system or have any questions on how to put them together, please feel free to shoot us a message down below or contact us over on Nutty Gnome Homestead on Facebook. If you guys haven't done it already, please like, share, and subscribe. That really does help us out. Helps us make sure these videos keep coming along. Till next time, guys, it's hot out here and we're going into a drought. So everybody should be conserving water and making sure your plants get plenty. Until next time, get out there and get your irrigation systems going, guys. Save yourself some time and money. God bless.